Hey everyone, this is Michael Ralph, and I'm going to show you how to do an automated assessment using Google Forms. So you need to set up a Google Drive account, and wherever you want to do your assessment, we're going to make a new Google Form. So you go to New, and then under More, we can make a new Google Form. I'm going to use a pre-created one, but basically you can jump in with something like this. And you'll see the first page you want to set up just the information you want them to give you, like their name, their hour, things like that, and then make a new page. And you're just going to make the basic, imagine you were making a digital Scantron, so just the question numbers and then the raw answer sheet. This way it's something that you can duplicate over and over again conveniently. I don't recommend typing in each individual question. So just make yourself a nice blank answer sheet with some instructions there at the end, and then that's all you need. So this is the link that you'll share with your students, and what we're going to look at is you'll also get an answer sheet that looks exactly like this, as a matter of fact. And the first step is going to be up here. This is the labels from the individual questions you've asked, and I'm going to insert one above to give myself some room to create an answer sheet. So I'm going to click this square here and auto format, so now I can see that a little bit easier. I'll probably want some additional room once my students start entering names so that I can see what's happening. And then up here, I'm going to add, this is the spot where I'll add my answer key. So you can even label this answer key if you like. And I'm going to paste in my individual answers up there. And then over here, I'm going to set up a spot for my actual analysis of my students' responses, so a total. And then I'm just going to copy and paste our individual questions. So if you have a quiz that's longer or shorter, the same process is going to work. And for the total, from here, let's see, I'm going to jump over to a pre-made sheet here. So from here, you can imagine I give myself a little bit more space to work, but the process is still the same. For our total, it's going to sum all of our individual responses. And for each one of these, we want to do just an if statement. We're going to have it compare the student response over here if this equals the spot where our answer key answer is. If those are the same, score it as a 1, and if it's different, score it as a 0. And then that is going to be something that I can copy and paste all the way over. Now you'll see that when I did that, when I copied and pasted it, that stayed put because that's double locked and we don't want that. I want the column to not be locked, so that as I paste that over, it moves along with my pasting. So you can see now, it doesn't matter how many questions I've got, I can paste it all the way along. From there, everything else is just gravy. Like, I like to have some item analysis here where it gives me the average score. So what percentage of students are getting each individual item correct? What's the average score of all of my students overall? And then it's also might be nice to have over here the number of students that have finished from each individual hour. So if you wanted to know when all of your students are done, this will count for you to tell you how many students are finished until it matches the total number of students sitting in your classroom. So just some other fluff to help make this sheet a little more useful. And as I go, what you're going to see is as each individual student finishes, you'll see it's going to insert a new line here. This is not something you can set up ahead of time because Google Forms is set to automatically insert the row. So you can't just paste it all the way down. It's still going to need to be something that after the student is answered, just a quick copy and paste down. And sure enough, that is copied and pasted correctly because it's all locked appropriately. So each time a new student enters individual answers, you'll have to copy and paste this down very quickly. It's pretty time efficient, so you can see how students are doing on the fly. You'll see that totally added there correctly. The last thing I want to show you is how to do multiple versions. You'll see I said version A over here. If you're doing an assessment or something where you want to use multiple versions, enter each individual key up here in a separate row, and then you can use some basic if-then statements to have it check, and you'll want to add a version question over here, so something they can see where they see it enter either version A, B, or C depending on what your individual tests look like. So then you can have it check, and depending on what is entered over here, it'll check the appropriate key above. So if you want to see an individual formula, just pause this video and roll back to the individual frames so that you can see what formulas I've used. Otherwise, this is nice and scalable because Google Forms is free and we can implement it across many classrooms simultaneously. So I hope this is helpful. Good luck assessing.